So after your dating experiences, or after your marriage, like in your dating experiences, I know you talked about it earlier, to where you might have experienced, that's what I wanted to touch on, the attraction piece. When you activating your proper energy, you'll attract a certain something. So you said before, you have experienced a man that might have been too not tapped in enough to masculine energy and too much of feminine.
Yeah, I think that
And how does that feel?
for me, I think it was about like aesthetics. Like I wanted somebody that looked good, right?
Okay.
And look good don't always mean is good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, all those things. So I think that was probably one of the things. And then, just like mannerisms, and that could be, from how they grew up, or, they were raised by, all women, which is, pretty common. And I think as I began to tap in more into my femininity, I was then able to
Identify his.
exactly.
Yeah.
And see, like, kind of like you're saying, like, it's a difference between being in touch with it and being it.
Yeah,
or
you're in it.
like somebody not really sure, like, is this person
Yeah.
got something going. And again, nothing against that, whatever makes you happy. But being able to identify what masculine is and what feminine is, because like what you're saying is absolutely true. We all have both, right? And I know for me, I want to be in a space where I can release the majority of the masculine and be most times in my feminine. Now, of course, if I'm working, I'm doing some business, I'm in a a boardroom, I'm trying to get a check, just a little bit of that masculine gonna come out, because I'm gonna have to speak up and all of that, but
and be assertive. And then that's important too, because that was another thing that I've learned in my life. I didn't realize it until recently, till I got conscious. I was like, man, in my dating experiences, I've been blessed to, every woman I've dated have automatically kind of been in that feminine energy, and in the form of submission. You know what I mean? To where I was like, dang, I look at it, I said, man, I got a pretty, I'm doing good.
So
with
question
myself.
for you.
Talk to me nice. Gotcha.
So do you feel like you were in a space to be submitted to
When in dating,
in some of your past relationships?
I would say and I feel like for me, I kind of learned it, kind of figured that out at an early age, because I didn't start seriously dating until 18. So I was out of high school and everything, because I'm not real big on rushing. A lot of people get involved and activated in when you still basically a kid. So I kind of wanted to wait till I got there, but I felt like and I feel like, and the main reason why I would say yes is because of I always been locked in with God. I feel like that was kind of always even in me being immature in other ways, that was always my cheat code. You know what I mean? In a way, in a positive way, of course. But in every woman that I dated, they, I got to sit up for this because now I'm getting locked in. But so like I had to learn that every woman that I dated, they always naturally submitted to me, and they respected that part in me. They was like, man, you got God in you. And the specific part, not on a bad way when I say this, is like always had a little bit more than they did in them, and because sometimes people don't always have it, and I'm not that type of person. They be like, oh no, if you ain't on my level, you ain't got that. And recently Pastor Kenny Locke was talking about that. Is like, sometimes people ain't always got to be on your level, but because of the God in you, they can learn to love God a little bit more, and submit to it. So that was the thing that I realized, that kind of always graced me and blessed me in that, to where they always kind of like respected my internal leadership.